Hi friends, it's good to see you again through this video. I'm really glad to make this video, and thanks to my close friend Suresh for helping me do this video, and for all his efforts of helping me do this. And anyway, this is what I've been meditating on from the book of Hebrews chapter 12 verse 1. Therefore we also, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and sin which so easily ensnares us, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us. Something really struck me. Lay aside every weight. I was reading it in my own language, and it was saying that lay aside every burden. Something really struck me was this burden that we sometimes get caught into in our lives. We don't realize how we really get caught into this word of worrying and responsibility. Many times responsibility is an action that a situation demands us to do, but worrying is actually even it's not even relevant to responsibility. But many times we end up worrying. Sometimes we misplace responsibility and the worry, or the burden, or the weight. We bring the weight upon our life. We bring the burdens upon our life in the times like that. And that word started to bother me actually. And it really convicted me and said, why am I carrying burden in my life? And suddenly, this is one of the words I always liked, is a verse that Jacob is talking to his son, Issachar. And it is seen in those Genesis chapter 49, verse 14. It goes like this: "O Issachar, Issachar is a strong donkey lying between two burdens. He saw that rest was good." That's something very interesting. He's a very strong man. There are many times we are draining our strength on carrying burdens. We could have used our strength in many ways, but sometimes we end up becoming slaves. Sometimes we end up becoming using our strength for the things that we don't have to, or what God didn't design us to do. And that's what Issachar is doing. He's a strong donkey, a very talented or an efficient man, or somebody with so much of energy, or somebody with so much of potential. But what they're doing is very interesting, that he's carrying the burden and he's lying between that burden, and he said that rest was good. Do you realize when he stands up, he's still going to carry the same burden that he's carrying? When he's resting by leaving his burdens on his sides. Hey, sometimes you have to wake up. As Christians, we go to church. When we are worshiping for that few moments, or that moment that you connect in the worship, and then you get lost in the presence of God. And then when you come back, you again take that burden back on you. And then you put it back on you. No. God is not wanting you to carry that burden, because he says, "Oh, those who are heavy and unburdened, come to me, I'll give you rest." God is talking about rest continually. There's something that we have to focus continually today, is that you got to lay aside all the burdens, all the weight, because these burdens will restrict your creativity. These burdens will restrict your new favors. These burdens will restrict your praise. These burdens will restrict your prayer. These burdens will stop you from focusing. This burden will stop you from smiling and relating with new people. Imagine if you're in a business, you don't want to be disoriented. Imagine if you're on a place where you're connecting with people, you don't want to be distracted by those burdens in your life. Even as a family, you don't want to carry the burden. There are times we get so accustomed carrying the burden, because you started thinking that because you're strong, you have to pull. No, God is stronger than you. God is more powerful than you. There is a huge difference between burden and responsibility. There's a huge difference between worrying and responsibility. E.M. Bounds, a great man who wrote about a prayer, says like this. He says, prayer is transferring your load from your shoulder to God's shoulder. And that's prayer. When you transfer your burden to God, instead, he trades joy with you. He trades He trades peace with you. He trades supernatural miracles for you. Come on today. I want you to know that. Don't be like Issachar. Lying between loads. God is saying, lay aside. Leave them behind. You don't want to carry any burden. He wants you to be free. He wants you to have the peace that He has for you. And He said, my peace I leave behind for you. And that's the gift of God for His children. He said, I have not given you the spirit of fear, but rather I've given you the spirit of sonship. Hey, how beautiful is this? I don't want you to be burdened. God doesn't want you to be burdened. And He doesn't want you to be like Issachar. We know what happens after that. And he saw the land was good. Most of the time we accept or we agree to become slaves or bond servants because we see there is something good might come out of it. You might start working on a job or a work that is actually taking every energy out of you, and you come back home so tired, and you still tell yourself one day it's going to be fruitful. Hey, ask your question. God is not just interested in your destiny. He's interested in your journey. Enjoy every day. Don't carry burden every day. You don't have to carry the burden and do something. You can love and do that and ask God for that strength. You know what happened to Issachar? He said the land was good and he gave his shoulder to take the burden. He became a band of slaves. God doesn't want you to be slaves to things. He doesn't want you to be slaves to thoughts. He doesn't want you to be slaves to burden. He wants you to be free and fruitful. And God is saying this word today for you. Come on. Know the truth and be free. Lay aside all the burdens right now in the feet of Jesus. May God bless you. Thank you.